So we're looking at these things and looking at it a little differently. We talked about the growth and development and how this thing occurs, how this whole thing is set in motion by the way you bond. Because bonding is something that melanin facilitates. That's why a black person cannot have an intellectual thought without a spiritual thought being attached to it. Because melanin clusters things. It causes a community, causes a family. Melanin clusters information. So you can't have an intellectual thought unless there's a spiritual thought attached to it. Not if you're black. You just do it but automatically. Oh, Jesus, I dropped my pencil. You instantly attach something spiritual to things. You cluster things. You cannot have intellectual thought without a spiritual thought. You automatically attach spirituality to things. Automatically. You listen to Elvis Presley say, yeah, it sounds good, but that boy ain't got no soul. Attaching spiritual value to it. It was technically correct, but it didn't have no spiritual value, therefore it's not correct. The first thing you say, I don't know what it is, but if I can't see God in it, I don't see it. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I mean when I say you're attaching spiritual value to it. If you don't see God in this thing, you don't see the thing. Melanin causes you to cluster that information like that. You've got to see the God value in this thing. That's being black. That's being melanin. But we've gotten away from that because we've been trained to be away from that. We've been trained to go against our own nature. And if you fight in your own nature, you're going to lose. You know how people fight their own nature. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking. Let me just talk to you. You know what I'm talking about, right? People fighting their nature. Suppose a lady straightens her hair. Then she go out in the rain. Is her hair going back to Africa? Yeah. Right. She's going to lose that battle. Because you're fighting your own nature. You're going to lose. So the objective is to keep you fighting your own nature. It is your nature to be spiritual. It is your nature to be family. It is your nature. It is in your genes. That's what we talk about. We talk about a little strip called DNA with a strand of melanin. That's how we talk about things. We take a little bit of this DNA string off and we call it a gene. A gene is a particle of a melanin strip known as DNA. DNA is melanin. What are you studying? Melanin. What have you ever heard? No melanin. Last time I talked about it, the guy said, what kind of watermelon is that? Melon? I ain't never ate no melon. I ate a honeydew melon, but a watermelon. I said, where am I at? Where am I at? I'm in Grand Rapids. Excuse me, I didn't mean no harm. So we're talking about this melanin and the melatonin levels and how it just starts going low and low as you age. What they have discovered is that this pineal gland that sits in the center of your brain, and white folks will start getting hard around 12. By the time they're 20, the gland does not even function. That's what I'm talking about. Their pineal gland calcifies, gets hard by the time they're 13 or 14. Oh, you know it. You see it all the time, but you just don't believe it. Oh, yeah. Now, why ain't they got some rhythm? That's what you be asking yourself. And I'm saying, technically, they don't have no pineal gland to make this stuff that cause rhythm. You saying they sure ain't got no rhythm. I wonder why that is. Duh. They don't have the thing that controls rhythm. In the body, melanin, that pineal gland that squirts out this melanin is calcified, turns into stone by the time they're 13. And they tried now, they tried. They draw steps on the ground, everything. They try, they be doing that stuff. You say, dang, they got the steps on the ground, they hear the music, and they're still dancing like, you know, what's going on with them people? It's the melanin. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So science attached to this stuff. Melanin makes your system burn energy more efficiently. So you don't need the stuff chemically that they need. You don't need that. See, you're efficiently human. But when you're not taught that, you don't know what human is. Human is your ability to be in contact with that inner voice, that deep silence, that dark crystal inside of you. What God put in you. You're just in contact with the God in you. That's all you're doing.